Hello and welcome to TPK Roleplay. Thank you for joining us tonight for an episode of Sherlock Investigations titled House the Dragon Built. We will quickly here in a moment get into some story details, but first let's introduce you to this lovely cast and who they will be playing tonight, starting with Luca.
Hi, I am Luke Locke, and I will be playing Honest McFarlane.
And then Chrissy.
Hey guys, I'll be playing Aurora Talise, Air Genasi fighter. Sarah, I think you're next.
I sure am. Hi, I'm Eric Franco. I play Duke Schultz, the Dwarf Warlock. Passing it on over to Elle.
Hello folks, it's Alan Biffa playing Handsome William, the Bugbear Ranger. Now I'll pass it over to Corndog.
It's me, Corndog, playing Blake, the Bard. And up to Turk.
Hi everybody, I'm Turk, and I'll be playing Chelsea Cray, the Human Rogue.
All right, great. Let me take our beautiful little map cover off here. My name is Kohlrabi, by the way, and I will be your GM or party wrangler for the night. And to get us started, these players have been with us since the beginning, and they have been working on some investigations of their own. You see here now all of their tokens and a little book here that suggests that Sherlock Holmes is missing. The party that is currently here knows that he was actually taken by Dracula himself, and a menagerie of villains and some newly established creatures of the night. You'll see Sherlock's little token out there in the greater city. Hopefully they'll be able to find him. As is tradition with Sherlock Investigations, we're going to go back around in overlay order and ask what each character has been up to and any insight they want to give into tonight's mystery. Give us a little bit of a break, though. We had to reschedule this a couple times, and this particular episode has been in the works for many months. So, Luca, what has your character been up to?
The same thing she's always up to, usually drinking, sleeping, snoring loudly in the house, disappearing for days on end, coming back with maybe a few bruises, scratches, whatnot, and then eating her way through the kitchen.
All right, Chrissy, what has your character been up to?
I would say Aurora would probably be making sure that Honest has been fed appropriately, as well as everyone else in the house. Probably doing plenty more research, considering she was on the last mission, which ended strangely. But Chrissy, the player, doesn't quite remember, so she's not going to try to remember really hard, because I just remember being like, fuck, and then it ended. But yeah, next up.
Duke would be maintaining his lodgings outside of the house, stopping by every once in a while to visit with the butler. He would be continuing to do his normal work, bounty hunting on the side, but he would be taking fewer of those jobs, instead investing time in trying to determine where Sherlock might have been taken, using his connections throughout the city, almost like, because there was the Order of the Dragon, correct, is the name of the organization?
Correct.
That he tried to look into before, but people didn't want to talk about it. So Duke would kind of use like the opposite, right? Like, okay, so they don't want to talk about it. I'm not going to be able to like find out, but I can try to like determine where they're at due to like lack of presence, like trying to like follow the shadow almost of the organization itself, and like see what he can find to help track his good friend Holmes down.
Wonderful. That is great insight into what will lead into tonight's adventure. Next up is Al. What has William been up to?
Keeping clean, lots of scrubbing in the tubbing, as usual, and generally, because it's good to be sparkly and shiny when you spend 90% of your time rubbing everyone else up the wrong way, which is probably what he's been doing most of the time. From the very start, William has been keeping a very accurate journal of events and things that have been happening in and around the house and to its occupants, piecing things together, generally without regard much for anyone else. Usually it's his way or no way, and has been kind of just being a bit of an arse in general. We'll see if he continues that. But either way, mystery's getting solved.
Wonderful. Blake? Blake?
So, what we've been up to has been a lot of spending some time with our new friend Van Helsing, ever since we went on a wonderful train ride to recover him, but also taking the time now to learn different languages, as well as running a few errands in the night to acquire income for himself, and maybe a little bit extra for the house. And also trying to just get silver for silvered weapons and make sure that everyone's prepared the next time, so that way it isn't a cut to black. Hopefully. I mean, who knows? But we'll let Shell talk next.
Oh, thank you. You're so kind. Chell, after the disappearance of Sherlock, has taken it upon himself to move the remaining Baker Street irregulars into the house, whether Marcus wants them to or not. And has since been basically going between playing babysitter and going out on the street to see what contacts he has. He probably is not as well connected in regards. Most of the time, his eyes and ears are the irregulars and the associated youth patrols, if you could call them that, to come up with a very quick term for kids on the street. But for the most part, yeah, he's just been switching between those two tasks, herding a small group of strange and mischievous children, and then heading out to try and find head or tail of his mentor / employer / father figure. Yeah.
All right. Well, as you've heard here, a couple hints on what we're dealing with tonight. The crew took a train ride to look further into the Order of the Dragon, and some of these monsters that have been sprouting up found themselves at a very prestigious library and stumbled upon meeting Professor Helsing. Prefers currently to be called Abraham, I do believe. And now working together in the house, they are piecing clues together, going in and out, bringing things back. And at this moment, Helsing believes that he has triangulated a hideout of Dracula, and hopefully, or not hopefully, depending on how the party sees it, the rest of his villain friends. So, unfortunately, he will not be joining you on this adventure, as he still needs to stay within the house, get his bearings, and research further and prepare the rest of the members of the house. This particular mission is kind of a covert side mission, as they usually are, for the members of this party. Is there anything you would like to do before you start heading towards the location that Helsing provided to you?
Yeah, Duke would want to check in, and pardon me, I've forgotten the name. The Warforged butler.
Marcus,
thank you. I knew it started with an M, but I was gonna goof it. Duke would make sure before they left to give like a a folder of sorts to Marcus, understanding that this is a dangerous situation, and he trusts Marcus to handle his affairs. So he would leave. He'd open up his dentist suitcase, pull out a folder, hand it to Marcus. I trust that you will handle this should things break not in our favor.
Oh, yes. Do you think that is quite necessary?
To be honest, Marcus, I'm not certain, but you know. Better to be prepared.
Okay. Yes. It is safe with me. I will do right by you and the others, but I'm sure I'll see you back tonight, and I'll prepare something for the occasion. Things have been rather grim around here lately, and a warm meal seems to cheer most people up.
Mm. And you? Would it cheer you up, Marcus?
Oh, well, I don't quite think it goes to use with me as much as others, but I do enjoy providing, and that is where I find my happiness. So yes, it would.
Very good, then. We'll see you later this evening, then.
Yes, please take care.
Always. And Duke would get ready to leave.
Honest will
Anybody
put on
else?
pants.
All right.
That's her big thing that she's doing before leaving the house. She'll put on pants.
All right. Are you remembering to pack your weapons this time?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Indeed.
Any weapons, any armor, clothing, whatever you need, you definitely have time to sort it out beforehand. You've earned enough money, and honestly, by now with Sherlock missing, Marcus has kind of been more willing to go into the vault to ensure that you guys are able to bring him back. So, money is not really an option, so just mechanically, if you need anything, feel free to pick it up. Silvered weapons that we've talked about before, things like that, no issue. Nothing too crazy, but anything we've mentioned before. Does anyone want to take any of the weapons that were passed around a little bit a couple months ago that some people had a hard time wielding?
Do we remember what they are?
Yeah,
Go ahead. I was gonna say one of them was like devilish. One of them actually like was connected to
Dracula, and was how he
To
got in the
Dracula.
house.
correct.
Well, I don't want that one.
That
But if
one's
there's just
currently
spare
buried.
weapons laying around that are not pointed out to be cursed, Honest will absolutely just open up her trench coat and start strapping things to herself. But I don't know what all we have.
Okay, cool. So everything that was collected from the House of the Maiden, I wouldn't call them cursed. I feel like that's a little strong. You have to pay a little to get a little. So, the last person who... I saw your face, Al. God damn it. I didn't mean it that way. Welcome to Sherlock, by the way, everyone. There is one that will trade your own blood for damage, and there is a chalice that has some properties, but the main vampiric weapon had some rather dire consequences for the last person that tried to use it. So, from what I'm hearing, everyone's got what they need. Are you guys ready to start traveling to this house?
Just a reminder, I have my dust of sneezing and choking, but I do want to pass off some of the potions of hide to Annis and William, as I feel like they'll use it, perhaps.
They'll be hiding. There we go. We started. Honest will not be hiding at all. Call.
Oh no, it's Potion of Hide, Hyde.
Oh yes, it is the one that will make you bigger
you
and
real big.
stronger.
You grow a size, yeah.
I also
Okay.
still have 2 of those, so
Which
Yeah.
you should.
Call.
Because you got so
Rather
big.
than
last-
have it
turn
silvered,
into
can I
a
just have
giant
my
one.
greatsword be +1?
Yes. And anything you need for your weapons that isn't out of like this is the honor system that we normally play on. You have the backing of the Victorian Paranormal Society. If you need a +1 weapon or silvered weapons, it is no question. Getting Sherlock back is the utmost priority. So you guys might just have to eat ramen for a couple weeks after.
If we live.
He's gonna do that anyway.
All right, so we will take us to the location. You walk through the normal London areas. You may stop for a second and talk to the wonderful jerky dealer. Today's special is I don't have anything off the top of my head.
Turtle?
Well, see, he had Turtle 2 weeks ago, so I think this week it's the if Aurora is the one that asks, which she usually is, it's he has a hard time remembering, but it's like just big frogs basically, in the back hiding. So, are you taking some for the road, Aurora?
Is that a
yeah,
meal?
at this point she will feel obligated now being a like thrice returning customer to this god-awful establishment
I think
because
there's another
she
C
gets
word you qualify
information.
for.
Yeah, she gets information from him. So yeah, she will uncomfortably purchase what she assumes to be bullywug fucking jerky.
Wonderful. If you are, as you're walking to the location, asking anyone if they know about the area or they know the house in question, they don't even know that a house is there. They say they've never seen a house there. But after some time traveling through the city, it's probably rainy and gloomy, and you all arrive. You should be at the very bottom here. Can I get a make sure everyone can see check and move your tokens check?
Maybe they're at the bottom too, so just be sure.
Yes, at the bottom.
Help, I can't move.
All right, I can probably fix that. Yeah, I set them up ahead of time this time, but sometimes they just break.
Aha.
There you go. All
In
right.
this, will you stop running into me, please?
All right, so you are
Sorry.
outside of a grand house. Let me give you, now that you're here, a more close look at the front. That is what you currently see.
And so everyone else has noted that they've never known about a house being here, and like, if we are even really close, could we be like, who lives there? And they're gonna be like, oh, blimey, never seen a house there before.
If you were
Sorry, that was bad.
if you were to try to grab a person and drag them to this area and ask them, they do not see the house. But there's no one in the immediate vicinity either. So you get 2 answers for the price of 1 question.
God, okay, so yeah, I wouldn't have gone that far to prove a point, but certainly just double checking, yeah. If there's no one in the area, that's fine.
How didn't I say any dragons?
It's a
We got the wrong
metaphor.
house.
It's I don't believe there will be actual dragons there, Fräulein. I believe that it's more
Honest.
symbolic.
So
Yes.
it's St. George, isn't it? Or is St. George is a dragon?
Duke is gonna turn and look
I-
at Aurora. Like,
I don't understand.
right. Okay.
Saint
Uh,
Jude?
there's no saints here, only monsters. This is something else entirely. All
Right.
gods have abandoned this place.
Well, you know,
All right.
looking for dragons.
Here we go. And I'm gonna just gesture up to the steps like I'm ready to walk up them.
All right, yeah. Now I'll check the front step and the door for traps and locked status.
Okay, go ahead.
Investigation. Ooh, not great. Only a 9.
You know, stick out a foot and you kind of tiptoe lightly on the step, and you think that it could be trapped by way of shoddy workmanship. The wood kind of groans a little under your step, but other than that, you do not recognize anything else.
All right. Well, careful on the stairs.
Alright.
Someone's not paying their work crews much. I'll make my way up the stairs and try the door.
The door opens. Is everyone planning to head inside?
I believe
Honest
so.
is strolling in.
Duke will hang towards the back, kind of looking at Blake and William, kind of to usher them through. As William moves through, Duke will kind of like lean forward. You haven't happened to hunt any dragons before, have you?
Hunting dragons, mate. You think I'd be in one piece if I took on a dragon on my lonesome?
I've seen you do good work.
Well, I don't know where you think you are, mate, but this is London. If your dragon started, flapping itself over London, I think people might notice.
It was just a question, but
Yeah.
they started asking questions, and it made me realize I'd made some assumptions.
Well, dragon could mean many things, and also, Shell's not wrong in a way. Just because they're the order of something, these knightly orders, these chivalric orders and whatnot, go back to the Crusades. Before that, secret cults and men in the shadows and stuff, just because they're still monkeying about these days doesn't mean they haven't got their heads screwed on from what happened before. You never know who's knocking about.
As Handsome William is talking, Honest is actually going to turn around and pull out her Sherlock Clues notebook and begin to start writing.
Just make sure you note down. He said I was right.
I think that was the least important bit, but
It's in it though. It's all important.
Right.
So.
I would
Well,
like
I
to
mean, you
check
should-
if anyone's watching for us as we are standing out in front of this house, if anyone's glancing our way
yeah.
before we disappear into a house that doesn't exist.
Oh well, we're already in.
I mean, you are.
I will.
That's true.
I will let you roll perception as you're walking up the stairs.
Did it do it? Total of 16.
Okay. You do not see anyone paying you any mind.
And then I look to Duke and Handsome William, and I'm like, I hear dragons make excellent lovers the older they get. And then I just walk into the house.
Duke grins. I do like them. And continues to follow.
Wonderful. All right, before I move you over to the next map, just want to give a huge shout out to Tom Kartos. We've actually used his maps a lot on TPK, and he has a Patreon. So if you like the map that you are about to see more of, that is where you can get it. And here we go. Let me situate stream stuff around. Alright, you should see absolutely nothing currently. But I am going to reveal the first area you walk into, and then the porch that you would see here. As you're walking through the threshold, there's not anything of note on the porch. There's an old bench. The porch itself is about the same quality as the steps. It's just rather old, and no one has kept up with it in some time. I am fixing the tokens for those that didn't work before as well. I think everyone should be able to move. I will put you into the light. If you need to change your marching order, feel free.
Oh, hello, Aurora.
Well, hello.
All right. Is this about the current marching order, or is someone purposely taking up the rear?
Duke would purposely be taking up the rear.
Okay.
I think the Dumb People Squad is leading the way.
All right. So yeah.
I have a negative in intelligence.
Yeah.
I'm up here. I'm up here, you guys, and I didn't dump that. However, I am very weak. Please help.
You should get behind the Dumb People Squad. We have not weak problems.
Ooh.
I'm just gonna shove you guys in real quick into this tiny hallway. Okay, so as you all look about, see no one paying you any mind, cross the threshold. The second that Duke walks beyond the door, whether he tries to close the door or not, it slams shut, and an iron gate actually and locks you, as far as you're aware, inside the house.
We're
as that-
expected.
As that happens, I guess Aurora who's in front, would notice that Duke goes, very well then, and starts fidgeting with the buttons on his sleeves, kind of undoing them, which is unusual, as Duke is normally very well put together.
Wonderful. Before you can react too much, you see a vision in all of your minds, and you hear a voice. Oh, hello, my little friends, and welcome to my humble abode. Glad you could join us for tonight. Sadly, I have other plans elsewhere. Perhaps a certain secret hideout located in the heart of London. You have fun now. Fingers crossed you escape before your precious friends meet an early demise. As you hear this ring through your mind, you're also all just very, very quickly, you're not even sure if it actually happened, but very briefly in your mind, a vision of an outstretched hand, and I think I can actually show it to you again from previous. It looks like this hand around the throat of Sherlock as it lets go off the side of a cliff. As this fades from your memory, you also, weirdly enough, know that you are now being judged. As you turn around, you see a giant timer flash across the walls. You now know you have an hour and 41 minutes. I've accounted for breaks to solve the puzzles of this house.
And how many hints do we get?
Yeah. How many times do I get to slap the hit buzzer? I just.
No clues.
This guy gets it.
All right.
The second that vision kind of goes away, Duke is going to close his eyes and take a deep breath and reach up with his hand and gently brush them across his eyelids. And there'll be the slight smell of like a spring breeze as he does that. He's casting True Seeing on himself. So he can see things for what they actually are. For the duration, the creature has true sight, notices secret doors hidden by magic, and can see into the ethereal plane, all out to a range of 120 feet. I'll have this for the next hour.
As you go to cast this spell, from what you've just read me, I think the result is still the same. The magic fizzles between your fingers and doesn't set off.
Okay.
Well,
Why did he say he's gonna be at our house?
Yeah, you fucking did.
Hide out.
That's why we're gonna get out of here right now.
We're doing a swap.
Yeah, but there's kids at our place.
If we make this our new hideout, he's got to come here.
You're talking about the ghostie.
No,
I don't think he can harm her.
I'm talking about the rest of them. Now, if we could please get out, William, if you could please get the fucking bars.
All right.
Or water, maybe
And
even.
she's just gonna reach into the back of her trench coat and pull out her greatsword. Point me where?
The fucking front door, obviously.
Duke is gonna push, like, as they're kind of talking, he's going to maneuver himself farther in, looking at Blake as he does so, because, well, I don't think he's ever seen anyone else cast, but does know Blake has magical inclinations, and will touch their shoulder as he passes by. I would save your arcane talents for another time. It seems that whatever's happening here will not permit it. And Duke's just gonna move it further into the house.
Before Duke moves through, Blake is just going to extend an arm and just cast Gust Barrier down the rest of this hallway just to see if that goes off, because that's at least something they can feel.
Is it magic?
Yep.
You try, and it just fizzles out as you go to cast the spell. As you guys walk through this hallway, I'll reveal the two side little rooms here. Anyone who's peeking in, they're basically just coat closets, things like that. This house is old. There are certain areas of the house that have been cleaned and have been used, but it feels at the moment rather empty, like someone possibly packed up and left not too long ago.
I would like to investigate, because it looks like it's lined with this like carpet. Duke would try to find like where the highest traffic areas are in this house. You know what I mean? Like based on that carpet to see where people would have been coming and going from the most.
Wonderful. That is great. Go ahead and roll me a perception. Or
Perception or investigation? 'Cause
I was
he's
just about to say, whichever one you're best
Yeah.
at.
Investigation for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. So that's an 18 plus 5, a 23.
Cool. Yeah, you see a very obvious path through the dust and on the carpet, leading to a doorway over here on your left that I just revealed.
Duke would turn to Aurora and nod in that general direction. It seems that whoever was here last moved to that room in general. I suspect that we'll need to look more than just one place, but perhaps we can begin there.
All right, so I'm not going through the wall.
You can try, Broline, but I imagine that it will not end well.
Cole, can I attack the wall?
Yeah, I mean, any physical or mental powers are yours to have and use how you wish.
All right. she's gonna just take a deep breath and she's gonna go over here to where no one can kind of be behind her, and she'll, oi, back it up. And then she's just gonna swing for the wall, just hacking at it almost in like an axe fashion.
Wonderful. Can you roll an attack against yourself, please?
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Go through.
Was an 11 hit?
No, it'll whiff by.
So as you go to swing against this room that Duke kind of just, nodded over to, you see one of the barriers this time as your sword bounces off and it doing, doing, and you barely miss your own head as it swings back towards you. The whole room exterior kind of glows for a second after you smack it.
Alright, well that's a no-go.
Should we attempt a door? Is there a door?
Yeah, Duke's gonna nod towards the door that he noticed earlier and say, "Act with caution. This entire place is clearly a trap."
Yeah. I'll scooch over to where the door is. I think I missed that. Is it this right here?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Most excellent. I'm gonna check for any type of magical ward on this door before I proceed to get in front of it.
Okay.
Like, I would recommend trap of any kind.
Yes. That.
Yep. Go ahead and check it out however you see fit. Arcana, if you're looking into that, or investigation is fine. Yeah, an 18. So as
Yeah, I could roll both. It's the same bonus for both.
cool. As Honest hit the wall and it glowed, the door is also protected by that, but you're not quite sure what it's protected from, and the door itself seems like it would still open. It's not like the magic is keeping the door shut, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like private sanctum as a spell or something like that.
No, it's just kind of like protecting the general area so that people can't bust holes through it or something.
I'm gonna try to open the door.
Okay, it opens.
Cramp.
So, for the ease of this experiment, rooms are going to be labeled. You will soon find out what this label means. Let me reveal a little bit more. Might as well just give you a whole look right here. So, flashing on the wall in this room is a giant number 1, basically, in kind of a magic-y teal color. Is everyone walking in the room? Is anyone doing anything not related to the room?
I mean,
Not at this time.
I'd like to look down the rest of the hallway as we proceed.
Honest is gonna just put her great sword back and then go slump in this purple chair and begin fiddling with the ends of the arm things.
William and Aurora, are you able to move your tokens, and are you entering the room?
Yes and no. I'm gonna spend some time eyeing up these curious statues in the hallway, seeing if there's anything unusual about them.
Yep. All of these statues are, at this moment, of dragons. If you want to investigate them further, you can roll for it if you would like.
17. on investigation, checking for any, seeing if they're hollow, if they've been moved, if any parts of them move, if they've used different materials when they were cast, things like that. Are they different from each other? Is there a pattern?
Yeah, so they are most definitely from the same place, and it doesn't seem like they were intended to be in this house when it was first made. They were definitely brought in by someone else that commandeered the home. They are just normal statues, however. Very fine looking statues made of really nice marble, but nothing out of the ordinary.
Aurora would also be hesitant to move into the room, so she would probably hang out in the hallway, either holding a door open with like a foot, or trying to like wedge it open so that it cannot stay shut with something if there's something around.
Okay. Yeah, you can find like a bucket in one of the closets. And what about you, Luca? What are you investigating?
Muted. I am sitting just kind of slumped and kind of a little bored and frustrated in this chair, just kind of picking at the fish on the wood. And I am just going to do a kind of scan of this foyer that we are in. I rolled a 16 investigation, which is amazing considering my smarts.
Yeah. Okay, so as you're sitting there, also, I love that you have a sword now, by the way. Thanks to whoever sent you that. You actually do notice something. So you're kind of sitting there and you're looking up and around, and you look directly above you, and you notice that it's the strangest thing. Any access to the upstairs has literally been cemented. So like up and around these stairs, there's kind of like an opening archway, and it's just a wall of cement, seeming like nobody wants anybody to go upstairs. And as you sit,
Yep.
I was just gonna say, as you sit and ponder that, the people who walked into room number 1, the moment you enter the room, you hear something in your mind once again. This time in a much more generic voice. A person was in a jail, much like this room. He needed a blank and managed to escape.
He needed a blank. A key. And Duke's gonna turn towards the piano. Could be a musical reference of sorts. What do you think, Blake?
It's definitely something it could be. I'm just gonna scoot over and look to see if there are any, because this place is dusty. I can see these spider webs. Look if there's any key that has a little bit less dust on it, or any type of fingerprint, human oils, things of that nature.
Wonderful. You actually do not even really have to roll. There is most definitely a piano key sequence of sorts that stands out as being more worn than any other key.
Was it multiple or just one?
It is multiple. So if you would like to roll a performance check, you can play the piano.
I will do that. Come on, performance.
Hell yeah, my dude.
Dirty 20.
Nice. Yeah, you kind of study it a little more, whether you're musically trained or not. It seems pretty easy to piece together what order they go in. You're not even sure if it actually matters, but you hit the keys and the back of the piano springs open.
Duke stands kind of on the other side of the room and gives a little round of applause as he approaches the piano where it opened, and it is quickly, efficiently trying to see what's inside.
There is a very nice sturdy key with a turquoise 1 emblazoned on kind of the circle part of the back of the end of the key.
Sherlock, Duke will attempt to cast Mage Hand. I'm assuming it doesn't go off because it is a magic spell. And following that failing, he will just reach in and grab the key, holding it up, and look at Blake. Well, we have a key. Now to find the lock.
Is there a lock in the glowing one?
Yeah, Duke will go over and try to look at this magic shimmery wall to see if there's, or I guess he's just gonna kind of look around this room in general to find a shiny gem or something, if there's a place in this room to use this key.
There is nowhere in the room to place the key.
I imagine, given the numeric value assigned to the room, that we need to continue forward. Perhaps there's another place, a sequence. Again, I imagine that this is... It's not as imaginative as the Fae might be, but devious nonetheless.
Indeed. Blake will follow Duke out of the room.
Yeah, as Duke leaves, he'll turn to Chell, and just kind of move into the room. And I feel like he's just going to rooms and doors, just doing his thing down the hallway to the other side.
Is there anything over here?
Yeah, was there anything I was checking out down that hallway while they were in room 1?
Yes, let me reveal some areas. For the rest of hallway crew, what is everyone doing? Honest, Aurora, and William.
Honest is gonna get up and just, there's no upstairs. And she's gonna go up and just kind of poke and then probably stab a little with her dagger at the cement to try and tell how fresh it is. Or how strong or thick it might be.
You get the sense that it is rather fresh, although it is entirely set. It is sounding very thick.
All right, there's no upstairs. We're not getting up there.
Is there any ventilation in this establishment?
There and any what?
Ventilation.
Got windows.
I don't know if we can use
Windows.
the windows, but
You cracking up.
Can you roll me a perception, Blake?
ugh. Oh hey. Oh, thank God for bards. Sorry, there we go. Let's see if that worked. 21.
So, as you say that, you actually do see that every room you go into has some kind of weird, crude vent. And it's the type of vent that flows out into the room.
I suppose I could crawl up inside the vents or fly up, ascend my way through.
You gonna be able to cast magic in here?
Some things aren't learned. It's just who we are.
Nothing else has been working though, has it?
Cole, I would like to attempt to shape change into a fairy.
I'm trying not to give away too much. For you, what are you using to shape change exactly?
My changeling ability, but I am pretending that it is simply a great disguise.
Okay, cool. Whether I don't need to know the ins and outs of Changeling, but with that description, you do it, and you're trying to float into a vent.
I'm just making it as an available option. Part of me is very scared to leave the group.
Yeah, before she does that, Aurora would be like, can you please like tie a string to your ankle or something so that if we have to like yoke you back to the space in which we are.
I think that is an exceptional idea. Let me just check what I've got on me as a person.
You need some rope?
Perfect. Shell. Thank you. Can you just tie that around Blake's ankle?
It's very small. Good luck.
Well, as you guys are doing that, and just kind of related to your perception and what you were checking out, in room number 1, there were some windows. They have the same thing happening to them as the door you entered with. There's like bars that seem to have slammed down. The house, as far as you know currently, is in some kind of security mode, not letting people in or out.
So, after quickly just wrapping it around Blake's ankle, I'm gonna get back to the hallway and just start checking for any hidden doorways or passageways around here, false walls, that kind of thing. But I'll continue to make my way to the back there.
Well, I will come back to that. William, are you waiting patiently by this door here?
No, very impatiently throwing the door open and going in crossbow raised.
All right, let me check something. Okay. You may enter that room. The door does open for you. I will give you sight of the room, and then I will come back to you after you enter it. Blake, are you entering the vent now that something has been tied to you?
Duke or Aurora, would one of you hold this other end? And I will scoot into a vent.
I imagine it would be Aurora because Duke moved back to the main foyer.
Most excellent. Aurora?
As Aurora holds that, she will shout to Duke, keep an eye on William. He's now busting into rooms.
Yeah. Duke just kind of does that like 2-finger, like, already got you, boss.
All right, great. So, as you float up to go through the vent, you kind of shimmy up a little bit as you have to go up into the grate and over. And are you immune to poison?
Why would you ask me such a thing?
I just need to know.
I don't think I'm immune to it, but I think I am resistant to it.
All right.
I gotta look through my creepy bullshit.
So as you kind of get up and through the vent, you now find yourself just kind of sitting in a poison cloud that's just waiting behind the vents. And you take 13 poison damage.
Okay, so I take 13 points of damage. Because I'm not seeing anything about poison. Ouch. Nope, we want to go this way. The sound of gagging the size of a fairy comes through the vent back to Aurora, but I press onwards and will slap myself with a cure wounds if I get hit by it again. But I'm just holding cure wounds in case there's another bout of poison.
Are you still trying to go through?
Yeah, man.
You will continue taking poison damage.
Okay, never mind. So after the second poison damage, I will just yank on the rope a little bit, but then realize that I can probably fly down faster than I can be pulled down.
Yes, you now know that the vents are filled with poisonous gas, but currently it's just kind of sitting there.
All right, vents are not an option. They are filled with poisonous gas.
That also leads me to believe that that gas can be released. Yes?
Perhaps. Unfortunately, I have no magic that can do anything about it. Unless you have something.
No. Not at all. But we should probably tell the others that I suppose we are looking at all being poisoned if we don't figure this out quickly.
All right, great. On that note, real quick, Chell,
Yeah.
you're checking for any hidden passages, things like that.
Yes, sir.
Where you are, there are none. But there is another door, rather a set of doors this time, up and around the corner. Do you attempt to open them?
We'll give him a look over first. You can't just open a door randomly. That's very improper. Gotta make sure it's not trapped. Gotta make sure, it's not locked. All the fun stuff.
As you are checking it out, you look up at the timer, which now says 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 34 seconds.
Fuck it. Then I kick it.
It does not open. You, in your mind, as many things have been portrayed to you in this house, feel like there is another door open already somewhere else. And as that happens, we will zip back to William. And as you enter this room, you hear in your head, "When heard, some may dream or stamp their feet. When heard, some may laugh or sometimes weep. Who am I?"
Another one of these.
Duke would quietly walk in behind and look at William. Did you have something speak to you?
Something like that.
Can you tell me what it said?
It was,
Perhaps we can.
When it's heard, someone is sad or angry, or when it's heard they're having a good time.
Just for a point of clarity, anyone who walks through the door will also hear it in their mind.
Okay, awesome, perfect.
So
But
you know what I mean.
In my head canon, Duke still asked though to make sure they are the same.
Yep, exactly. Can we get the text of that there, GM, just in the chat or something?
Oh, you want to make it easy, huh?
Well, I remember, but it's going to be easier if I see it.
I will put it in all the chats. Don't look at Twitch chat. Twitch chat, don't tell them. I just realized that Twitch chat could spoil it.
Yeah, no, we're not.
No,
we're not.
looking at chat.
No
clues.
No clues. The thing that comes immediately to mind is the play on words for heard. Are there, yeah, I'm gonna cast my eyes around for,
Are you just looking at what's in the room?
yeah, I just want to look around the room. Like the last time it was a piano, which is great. Like he's looking for a device that would generate sound of any kind.
Oh, yes, you're standing right next to a jukebox, both of you.
Yeah, Duke's gonna go over to the jukebox, and kind of grin at William as he does.
Do you press
I mean,
the
it
button?
depends on the song.
I never thought at some point on this joyful excursion to the den of evil owned by our most immortal of enemies that I will be looking through his record collection.
I imagine that
and
there are
judging
things on
accordingly.
here. I imagine that there are tunes that are already just, I don't see him having good musical taste. And Duke will absolutely kind of reach forward to press the button.
All right.
It's just 15 copies of the Monster Mash. What the fuck is this?
God. Duke is going to turn and look into the room to see if anything is being impacted by hearing the music, like if anything is moving or...
If you guys are not moving, then you're not listening. Other than that, there's nothing else moving.
Aurora's stepping into that room after hearing music and very confused as to what Duke and William are doing.
Duke will just turn and look at her. I mean, might as well enjoy it, right?
Blake will also follow in because it's music. And they are still a bard.
All right, while we leave you guys to dance in the room, what are the other two doing?
No, I'm trying with the front and back. I'm pushing and pulling, right? And it's not fucking going.
Nah. You're not putting your shoulder into it. You gotta
putting my whole
you gotta
fucking
kinda
foot up
lean
to
back,
it. I'm putting
and you gotta you bend at the knees, and then you just kind of shove, and you gotta use your arse to just kind of shove it in.
What go to do? Damn it. All right, on three then. On three. Get it.
I'm coming up and I'm helping. I'm helping.
Right. One,
All right.
2, 4.
Ah, fuck you.
1, 2, 3, and
3.
throw our weight against this locked door.
Nothing's happening.
You're not pushing.
Up. Try them both.
All right, there's gotta be someone else somewhere. There's like a, they put the key on the top of the thing to keep out the irons. And I'm feeling up above the thing to try and see if they put the key on top of the molding.
You just really are hearing the music coming down the halls, and you're feeling like dancing, but you're not finding anything. I did, however, reveal these other side rooms based on...
I'm seeing that, DM.
Based on what...
I'm seeing that.
Based on what you guys said earlier about kind of looking through the area, these rooms are open. If you went in them, you see what you see. But there's no keys around this door. Each time you kind of try to open it or look around, you just get the feeling kind of one open, everything else needs to be closed. But you can keep trying other things.
All right, I keep getting these weird
The door
little
senses.
flashes in my mind about doors, and there need
the
to
door
just be one
senses,
open.
yeah.
I think we gotta group together.
And as a note of this whole experience, if you're not already feeling it, it feels very powerful. Most of you, I would say, have never felt a presence like this in your mind, and the fact that it can take on kind of two different personalities, possibly. The one that first spoke to you, which those of you who have had encounters with Dracula know was Dracula, and the second, which is just more kind of automated. It is a very weird time you're having in this house, and very powerful magic is at play.
I'm blurry.
All right, back to the music crew. What are you guys thinking?
Aurora is going to step up to William and say to the rest of the group, well, the answer obviously being music, but we have to do something with it, right? And she will force William to start dancing with her.
I'm going to resist that.
Go for it, which she's bigger than you.
Duke will kind of follow Aurora's kind of lead, will turn, offer a very formal bow to Blake, and hold out his hand to them.
Oh, happily dance with Duke.
Right, wonderful. I
don't know what just happened.
I'm
Are
gonna
you-
just put away the flask.
Are you okay over there,
Just a
Turk?
second. You just went all blurry. I've been drinking too much.
Moving too fast. Fast as fuck, yo.
Everyone can hear the music, correct? Wonderful.
I'm
All
making
right.
my way downtown.
Walking fast.
All
Where's it?
right.
Ghost!
As
Dragons.
you guys come across this open door, you see everyone kind of starting to dance. If you cross the threshold, you will hear the same riddle in your head. And of course, the music is filling the room and kind of spilling into the hallway. As everyone starts to dance, it keeps on playing.
As
Yeah, what
Duke
was the riddle again? Oh wait,
It's
you
in the
posted it
chat.
in the thing.
Mhm.
as Duke kind of artfully dips Blake, he will look up at Chell and Honest and say, "Would you mind joining us briefly? This might be a group exercise."
I'm just going to lightly giggle while being twirled around in Duke's arms.
Wonderful. Is everyone beginning to dance? Chell, are you okay?
Yeah,
Can you handle dancing a little?
I can handle dancing a little. What do you take me for? Some character I based off of this character somewhat?
All right, you are all wonderfully dancing in the room. It's a very good time.
I'm looking around to see if there's anything that's changed at all, or
Same. Yep.
I'm
Aurora is very intentionally trying to see if anything about the room is shifting or if anything is changing.
There's no
Honestly-
reaction to the dancing.
walking in. She's just gonna say, then again, if this is the time for music.
What if we need to change the station? Anyone try fiddling with that? You know, the record that was playing in it.
Duke will over his shoulder. "You're welcome to try."
Screw it, yeah. I'm gonna go play around with the radio dial, see what I get.
Wonderful. It stops for a second, as you just heard, and comes right back up to the same song. Can you roll me a perception check real quick?
Sure
It'll
thing.
chill.
Cool. So I get advantage on that. So it's gonna be 26 total.
Cool. As you're flipping the dial, it's the same song, same song, same song. There's only one song in this thing. And you peek a little closer. Can you tell me the name of the song?
We got lucky.
As you say those words, a key descends from the ceiling with a number 4 emblazoned on it.
And looking at you, we're all just gonna have a nice fun time now. No. Take that in the pocket.
Honest is just in the corner aggressively stamping her feet as the voice in her head told her to.
After you say the magic words, the song turns off, and for Twitch chat that cannot see it, the name playing, the name of the song playing within Roll20 the entire time had the answer to the riddle. Duke, you were saying?
Yeah, as the music stops, Duke will do a final kind of bow with Blake. "Thank you, Blake. I appreciate it. And shall we carry on to the next puzzle?"
Oh, Alice, that door's open. And I'm gonna go heading out quickly.
All right, mean we get to open the other one.
I hope so.
Should we be shutting these doors behind
up.
us?
I got a lot of movement.
It'll shut by itself.
I actually have the charger feet, so I'm gonna Terminator run after you.
All right. Is everyone heading after the people who just sprinted towards another room?
Duke's gonna take a gander down this hallway that's right here, just to make sure we've got this accounted for. But then, barring there being anything here, he would follow after.
Yeah, it is another door, and if they raced to that door they were trying to open before, once they open their door, of course, this one that you're standing in front of will not.
Gotcha. Yeah, Duke would turn and say, "It seems this is a first come, first serve. We should join them in the off chance that they require our assistance." And quietly step toward that other group.
Wonderful. William, was there anything that you needed from that room before you exit from there?
I just want to check the fire grate quickly before we head out entirely. See if there are any ashes lit in it or anything like that.
Yeah, it has definitely been used. Not for a couple days, but recently enough.
Okay.
Wonderful. All right, I'm gonna kick you out of that room as the door closes behind you. And as we hit the 1 hour left mark, the 1 hour just flashes against all the walls. How are each of your characters feeling as you see the timer counting down?
Anxious as fuck, bro.
You're not happy. But, like, I don't know. There's still kind of the puzzle stuff. I mean, nothing's trying to kill us, but still want to get out of here as fast as possible.
Determined.
Wonderful. As you open the doors to this room, you place your hands on the doors and you will notice emblazoned on a plaque next to it is a little engraving that says the Harrison Room. And I will reveal it for you.
My goodness.
At the moment, you see a lone statue sit in the middle of the room. And I will wait a second for everyone to get up and near that room. But as you enter the Harrison Room, I suggest we take a quick break right here. All right, everybody, we will be right back in 5 or so minutes. Go ahead, get a glass of water, stretch, and see how this turns out. Be right back. Welcome back, everyone, to Sherlock Investigations. If you're just tuning in during the break or previously, our members are in a house that was maybe a location where Dracula lived, but they are now locked in solving riddles to obtain keys. They have discovered 2 keys so far. There is a timer that flashes on the walls that now has 49 minutes and 25 seconds left, and the vents are filled with gas. As you come to this next room, oh wonderful, everyone walked inside. Thank you so much. The door closes behind you. There is only one way out of this room, and it is the door that you entered the room in. So there is a lever on the statue in front of you and a dent in the ceiling above the lever. The ceiling starts lowering. Lowering ever so slightly.
How
This
sturdy
way.
does this statue look in the middle?
Very, very sturdy.
All right.
There was no voice.
It'll stop it.
Correct.
No voices. The ceiling is just lowering down to seemingly squish you.
Do we pull the lever?
I would
So-
like to investigate the lever. I would like to look at it closely to see if I can determine any like connecting mechanisms. I don't know.
While Duke's rolling, you mentioned there was a bump above the lever. Now, is that in line with where the lever would be in an upflip position, or like where a person's head might be if they were careened straight up into the descending wall?
Yeah, when you're looking at it, it's basically this ceiling is going to crush you, but it leaves room for the lever in the statue to...
Oh, okay. So there's
Yeah.
there's fittings. It's not gonna hit the statue. Yeah, gotcha.
Yep, it's only to allow the statue through.
It's a mold.
The
That's
rest-
another 23 on investigation.
Wonderful. The lever looks like a lever that you can pull.
Yeah, I mean, Duke's gonna step forward, pull the lever.
Wonderful. You pull the lever and the ceiling goes back up, hitches for a second, and starts to come back down, coming to crush you again.
Does the lever reset?
Yes.
Duke will just kind of watch it, do it again.
Same result.
I'd like to begin working on the door as Duke's giving us time.
What
I
are
will
you
aid you in that.
trying to open the door?
Yeah, I got tools of thieving varieties.
Cool. While you are doing this, you set to pick a lock of the door, is what you're saying?
Yes, well, I would certainly like to pick something off the door.
It is a solid door. There is no keyhole.
GM, I rolled a 15 insight. I would like to look at this situation and just kind of vibe check it.
What are you trying to suss out from the room?
The lever seems like just sort of a false hope kind of thing. The door is solid. Like, what itchy feelings? I have a gift of the sight, so like, just in my blood, like, what kind of itchy feelings do I have if I'm looking around like, I bet this seems to look unimportant, but actually is important kind of vibe.
So there's nothing that stands out about the room that I haven't already stated. You watched Duke kind of reset the ceiling over and over. The statue is solid. The ceiling hasn't quite gotten down far enough yet, is the only other thing that you would think.
How far can it get down before we're all dead?
Would you like to sit and test how far?
No, I'll lay down on the ground with my leg ready to kick the lever if needed. Or even my sword pointed up to the lever.
Yeah, no, Duke's just there resetting it. Like before it can like get to like and like dangerously close, he just is keeping that lever cranked, so it just constantly is
Duke, what if we just let it get down to a certain point? Maybe it's just gotta do its thing, and then it is done.
Duke's gonna turn and look at the door crew, and then turn. I think that's a bold idea. Honest. If they can't crack the door, we'll go with it.
Yeah, so you mentioned there's no keyhole, but I'm not really worried about that as well because I assume there's some form of locking mechanism keeping these two doors held together. So I'm going to take a nice thin sheet of metal and just give it a good old credit card slide up. See what I can catch you painting.
Cool. Yep. So much like the previous room, when you go to contact metal to the door, you see the magic barrier kind of glow as it bounces off your metal. and you don't hurt yourself as you were cautious about it, but it's not letting you actually make contact with the door.
Does the
Get out a-
ceiling?
I get out a toothpick and I stick it through and I begin moving it.
Does the ceiling leave scrape marks anywhere on the walls while it's coming down? If so, where do those scrape marks go to?
Not anything out of the ordinary. I mean, you could technically climb on top of the statue, but you'd be crushed sooner, most likely, if that makes sense, because it's built to let the statue go in, but it's not like there's, an opening. It's just an indent in the ceiling.
Does the indent measure high enough to cover the full statue floor to top of the indent? Or does it look like there's a break, kind of like what Honest was suggesting?
How good are you at math?
So clearly what we gotta do is push
well,
over
I'm
the
a
statue.
fairy and I can get up into its business presently. So I would go up there and just like measure fairy sizes, doing little backflips and acrobatics, and then go down and measure the statue in the same way.
Okay,
Because
yeah.
no, I'm not great at math.
As Duke,
Unless it's money.
yeah, as Duke covers for you and keeps, anyone from getting crushed, and Chell's trying to figure out the barrier and get access to the door. You're kind of checking it out, and you think that it will get low enough to where William is very, very uncomfortable and would probably still have to lay on his back, and it might give him a tight squeeze, but you're not quite certain it would actually crush you.
William, I do hope you like comfy hugs, because I do think Honest is correct. We just have to trust it.
William, this entire time, has just been lying on his back on the floor with his cap pulled over his eyes. Just, yeah, he'll work it out.
Duke nods to Honest, will step back and lay down on the floor.
I am going to hide in a crevice of the statue.
All right, is everyone letting the ceiling descend down upon them?
Yes.
All right, great. As you do nothing, it gets rather uncomfortable for a moment, and you hear the ceiling reset, and the doors spring open, and dropping out of the statue's mouth is a key marked with the number 2. And for that puzzle, thank you, Harrison, for providing me a puzzle.
All right.
You have the second key.
Does the door open?
Yes.
Easy.
Charge away, Ennis, to the next part of the house.
I'll charge.
I'm grabbing onto Annis's
Pop up to my feet and just zoom to the next room. I will get the door wrong and head to the wrong room first, in my excitement, and then
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
Turn around,
Right.
back, reverse,
Right.
reverse it, reverse it.
this way.
All right, as you guys are running through the house, seeing that there's 39 minutes left, thank you so much, Mr. Saito. We will resolve that really quickly right now. For the one item, it looks like Aurora is the last one to move her token. So as you stay behind in this room a second, something else falls out from the statue's mouth. And it seems that it is a cat's eye suspended in amber, and we will come back to that. 1 boon per player. I will come back to that one. Curse for the GM. Ooh, I don't know if I can really be cursed. I will, instead of a curse for myself, because this is kind of a curse for myself, give you guys 5 more minutes on the timer. Hey, that did work. So, they're fighting against me, and I'm the timer, so my curse is giving them more time. And for a boon, every player can go ahead and heal back to full health if they took damage. And what is a good boon? I will come back to the boons for sure. Beyond healing. If you are already at full health, go ahead and give yourself however many temporary health points Blake just gained back, which was 13, right? 7.
Because
okay.
I did a cure wounds.
Okay, cool. So everyone add 7 temporary health points. You are running to find the next door, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you have 3 keys. Duke, you actually saw this door a little earlier, and anyone who looked over to this area after leaving the other room, why won't you ping? It is right here.
Yeah, Duke would press forward.
All right, are you opening the door?
He certainly is.
Wonderful. All right, you open the door and you all may enter.
Time is of the essence.
Whoop. I'm in here.
All right, but when we find him, you're gonna tell Sherlock that I solved a puzzle, right?
Without a doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
All right, so with that taken care of, you enter the room. This is room number 3. A key dangles from the ceiling in the middle of the room, attached by a simple piece of rope that simply goes through the ceiling and up to the next floor of the house. On the key is a number 3.
And it's just dangling from the ceiling.
Correct, yes.
Duke's gonna look at these statues and see if any of them are pointing like towards the key, as if like projectiles of some kind might like interfere if we try to take it.
So I think if you zoom in, you can actually see what way they are facing. And let me change where the number is.
To be where the key is.
Yeah, to be where the key
Sick.
is.
Sick.
So that's where the number is. How the statues are facing are how it is exactly on the map.
Gotcha.
You think it's a trap?
I imagine that there might be something to it. We can just take a quick look around. If we determine there are no immediate threats, we might just try to take it.
I mean, I could always go up further on the wall here and grab it so I'm not in the range of anything, shooty.
I trust your judgment, Master Chell.
Right. GM, how far from the wall is this? Is this just in the center of the room? Like, how far from the wall to this key is it?
Yeah, so the grid is disabled on Roll20, but there's a grid on the map.
Okay.
So it's about 5 feet.
Sweet. Shell's going to spend a key and get spider climb. Then walk up the wall a few feet. Just kind of casually walks over and begins heading up the wall. Right. And he'll just give a quick little jump and grab the rope and begin fishing that up to himself.
So you're grabbing the rope and pulling it.
Not pulling the rope. More like if there was
Okay.
if there was a fishing line, it'd be like the water pushing against it.
Yeah, so
For your weird spider enemy that's going to descend here in this cobweb room.
So you're on the ceiling or the wall, and you're grabbing the rope with the key, and you're just stretching it out without straining it to be suspended where you are.
Very, very carefully, just bringing the rope over, and then without like pulling or tugging it, just bringing it in. Careful.
Okay.
Careful, careful, careful. And then I get to the key, and I'll just undo whenever knot is on it.
The rope and the key are fused as one.
It's got some weird fucky magic to it.
They didn't say it was magic, but there is no knot you can see.
Right, but it's rope attached to metal key. Unless it's a rope key.
Like the key is built around the rope.
Again, there was no plaque and there were no voices, correct?
Nope.
Duke is then gonna move over to the statues and see if they can be turned, like pivoted on their pedestals.
They can.
He'll look up at the ceiling to Chell and then over to William. William, your thoughts? It could be that these simply need to be observing the key.
Entirely possible. Or maybe the rope's attached to a big winch and when we spin them it will lower it or raise it, or maybe it's attached to a big fart cloud that was in the vents and it will unleash it all on all of us. I don't know. I've got nothing to go off. Pull it, see what happens. What's the worst? We all die. That's going to happen in half an hour anyway.
Duke's gonna try and turn this statue that he's nearest to. Does it move easily?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's gonna turn it to actually face the key then.
All right. As you turn the statue to face the key, you hear it kind of lock into place, and now it won't turn back.
Duke will nod to William and Blake, because Chell's on the ceiling, I imagine.
He's just on the wall.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, to those other two statues. Let's turn them and see what happens.
Right. I don't know that I am presently strong enough to do so.
Oh, are you still in a little fairy form?
I am.
Yeah, Duke will then
And
move over.
also have a strength of Turk. What happened to you?
All right,
He's
you
on the wall.
need some
Oh
muscle.
God.
Yeah, on Duke will nod towards
I
that
will
statue.
back up.
Honest, if you would not mind.
All right. GM, do you need just like a strength check?
I didn't
From
have to
me,
make
or-
one.
I just need to know how
I
you're...
mean, never mind.
You know what? Yes. Give me a strength check so that you can use your strength
I've done this to myself.
and your brawn.
That go? That did not. Hold on.
Look at that.
23.
Yeah, you stand up, and even easier than Duke was able to, you move the statue. Which way are you facing it?
Whichever way Duke tells her, honestly, is the answer.
Towards the key, Royline.
Cool.
All right. Honest.
Yes, honest.
It does the same thing. It locks into place, so that's two statues moved.
William, can you manage the third?
And when he tries to turn it, he's going to turn it the furthest way, all the way round. So rather than just a quick clunk, he's going to try and get it all the way in case there's another point.
All
that
right,
locks
all
in.
right.
Just to see if there's another locking point.
You're showing off.
Yeah, I'm also going to spin it like a basketball on my finger.
It does turn all the way around, and it locks into place only when it is facing the key. As the third statue faces the key, you hear above you what sounds like a mechanism closing and getting tighter. Nothing changes about the rope or the key.
Just take a knife and slice that rope.
You can do that.
And then I'm going to put that key in my pocket, which is on my person with the other one, and I'll do a flip back to the floor.
Wonderful. The rope remaining that you severed the key off, and it has like a little chunk of the rope still built into it, sticking out. The rope lowers down a little bit to adjust itself where it can still be reachable. Is anyone doing anything else with the statues or the rope?
Duke's gonna look over at this fourth one on the wall.
Yeah, this statue is actually different than the others. The three that you were moving were of some kind of noble-looking men. They all had an insignia of the Order of the Dragon. But this one is kind of more of a angelic figure of a shrouded woman, and even her wings are covered in a cloak.
It is like an actual cloak, or it's a carved cloak?
It's
a part of
carved.
the statue. Okay.
Yeah.
There's no plaque or anything?
Nope.
Duke's going to kind of step around and gently try to touch and move the statue, see if it turns.
Okay. Yeah, as you move it, it slides a little bit, and beneath it is a little storage, and in it you see another piece of amber, but this time it is on a like a gold necklace, and on the back, carved into the amber, it just says "To my love."
Duke is going to pull out a handkerchief and kind of unfold it and carefully remove this from the storage, not touching the amber, but like using it to like pick up the chain and kind of lift it from its resting place.
You are able to do so.
He will then turn around and hold it up to the group. I have found this. I do not know what it is.
Aurora will pull the small cat's eye suspended in amber, and I found one as well in the other room.
He'll kind of bring it forward and carefully pass it over to Aurora, so she is the keeper of both strange amber items. If we have the key, I suppose we are finished in this room, yes?
Give a look to the door.
Is anyone wanting to pull the rope?
What?
I'll pull it. If there's a rope just hanging there, I know you've seen my character sheet, GM, but one of my things is I'm always picking things up or absently fiddling with them and sometimes accidentally breaking them.
Yes, wonderful.
So if there is a rope in a room just dangling, Honest is gonna come over and just like absently just kind of like, and pull on it.
Wonderful. As everyone starts to go leave, you pull it, and you hear a bunch of thudding upstairs, and it starts rolling down to the center of the room, and nothing comes out, but through the ceiling, like you're in a nightclub with sprinklers, blood starts raining from the ceiling.
Whoop! Sorry!
And that's it. That's all that happens. You're just standing in a bloody, rainy club. I mean, room.
Duke
Alright.
moves over to the door to see if, or kind of calls, I guess he's right by Aurora, yeah. And if we're able to leave, he just walks out.
If everyone just looks at us and then silently walks out.
Yeah, no worry. I didn't like this jacket anyway. Pardon me. Yeah, alright. Cool.
Sorry.
Ready to go color on me, complexion.
I just use my scarf to kind of wipe at your face awkwardly. Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, no, don't worry. It's just smudged it in.
As we kind of come out here, Duke is just carefully, with the handkerchief from before, wiping the blood off of his face, and will offer a clean side to Aurora so she can do the same. But he's looking for a place to put these keys. I suspect this is where he would start looking.
Okay. Yeah, so where you're looking there is 4 keyholes, and you have 4 keys, correct?
Correct. Are there any, like, gems? I know that they were, like, different colors. He would try to either do, like... Is there any indication of what order they should go in, or is it just blank keyholes?
They are all labeled 1, 2,
Okay.
3, 4.
Yep, Duke would put them in that order then.
Cool. Before you finish, you said that you gave what you found to Aurora, correct?
Correct.
Cool. As Aurora took them and held both in her hands at the same time, and everyone else kind of focused on either cleaning up blood or moving over to this area to insert the keys, the 2 items started to fuse as one, and they now become one big pendant, and it starts to glow. Aurora, you feel like you can grant each person in the party one simple wish. They may not use more than one, and you are the holder of this pendant. That is everyone's official boon.
Just a wish.
A simple wish. Do you, for the moment, keep this knowledge to yourself?
Probably. Yep.
Cool. All right. Duke stands up, enters the 4 keys in as the timer shows 25 minutes left, turns each one in order, and you hear the house remove itself from lockdown mode, and the timer vanishes.
Duke will then turn around to the door. Quickly, Chell, the door.
Yeah, on it. And I'll go and give it a running jump.
Beautiful. It kicks wide open for you.
As that door opens, Duke will wait a moment, or Duke's going to actually kind of start jogging towards the door, with the intent, I'm assuming everyone is also aware of getting back to the mansion as quickly as possible.
Already gone. Hit that
Yeah.
door, rolled, onward.
As soon as we're outside, though, everybody's outside, and Duke's a couple paces, because he's short, he's a little bit slower. Before he loses eyesight of anyone else, he will cast Seeming on them to make them appear like themselves, just not covered in blood, as we start sprinting through the streets of London.
Why do we have all of the same spells?
Because it's meant to be.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. At this moment, we know that Chell is running. Duke is doing what Duke just said. Is anyone else making a point to do anything else as they run towards the mansion?
No, but before I left the house, I would have stopped and tried to listen for anything else.
Right before we go into the mansion, I want to cast True Seeing on myself.
Okay.
Aurora would, as she's leaving this house, turn to watch to see if anything happens to it as she is exiting.
Okay, cool. Yep, so as you're listening to the house, you hear it kind of, the windows and the doors kind of open up, and everything just kind of settle back in, but you don't hear any footsteps or anything else after that. The house is dead silent by the time you leave. And as you look back to answer Aurora's question, those of you that do look back no longer see the house behind you after you leave its front steps.
Right, I will head for the mansion then.
Wonderful. You run through the streets just about as fast as you can, possibly even taking a level of exhaustion. You don't have to mechanically, but you're just running. You arrive back at the mansion. Do you enter through the front entrance or the secret back entrance?
Right through the front door would be Shell's first.
Move.
Do I still have traps on the front door? Because I definitely put some there. In the long before times.
What kind of traps?
It was something to set off the dust of sneezing and choking.
Okay, wonderful. So everyone's going through the front door, so through Sherlock's old apartment, correct?
Yep.
What's the address of that?
221
21B Baker Street.
Yeah, 221B Baker Street. Yeah.
Wonderful. Your traps at the front door are still intact. As you race through the house, we will say for story's sake, you can see straight through the main floor of the house, and you see that the back door is wide open. Any person that you come across who would normally stay in the house is laying on the floor, unresponsive.
Can we do a medicine check to determine if they're like dying or just unconscious or not breathing?
Yes. Also, thank you so much, Saito, for the donations. Appreciate you. They also got the boons earlier. If you missed that, they all each get a simple wish. Medicine?
Natural 20.
Wonderful. They are just unconscious, seemingly unharmed.
All right. Now, back door. What kind of trails that got?
Trail?
Yeah.
No trail. But are you obviously going around to each person, checking on them, and looking around the house, looking for any signs of anything? Yes.
I'm like pulse checking the first two people, but after that, I'm trying to find the irregulars.
Okay. All right. What is
everyone else is free to do?
Yeah. What is everyone else doing?
Looking for both Dracula and that invisible son of a bitch, who I have been hunting throughout London for a couple months now, and still haven't found. The invisible person. Man? Woman? We don't know yet, because they're invisible.
All right, so you're stomping through the house looking for the enemies. What is everyone else doing?
Duke will be calling out as he enters, calling for Marcus and Helsing specifically, and being loud about it. He's not trying to be sneaky at all.
Wonderful. Yeah, if you're calling out and no one is tending yet to the unconscious people, you receive no response. William and Aurora?
Aurora will stop at the first person she sees and attempt to wake them up.
Yeah, so you kind of, look at them. You saw Chell kind of assessing them. You see that they're unconscious, and you just, at some point, like after being gentle, you just result to either a slap or a shake, whatever Aurora would do, and they wake up. The question is who's the first person that you wake up?
Well, if we are going through the front door, I'm not sure how this map is laid out, so I suppose it would be whoever this is, maybe? On the first level?
Where did you ping?
On the stage, on the bottom floor.
That's
Oh,
me.
that's
I'm
Blake.
not there right now.
Okay.
Um,
Probably
So-
Valdani in the library, or
Yeah.
Or if you
Yeah.
bolted up the stairs, there are a few people on like
Yeah.
that top landing.
Yeah, you wake them up. I'm assuming you're looking to ask them questions.
Yeah, I would want to know who was here, what happened, etc., and who we're looking for.
Cool. Yeah, the first person you wake up, I won't try to reenact their character, but they groggily come to after you shake them, rub their head, and they have no idea what happened. They described their day. They were going about it normally, normal interactions in the house, and next moment they're waking up to talk to you, not knowing how they fell asleep.
question.
Yeah.
B-Cat.
B-Cat.
Is there a singular B from B-Cat that is yet conscious that we could potentially speak to? As I search this house for this one of the most wonderful feline apiary.
There is something else that you have noticed first, Chell, that we will come back to.
All right, fine.
Because you're racing around a lot, and something you said earlier.
Yes.
William, are you unbothered jumping back into the bath?
William's gonna see that Aurora is taking care of folks that are not looking to chip her, and then bolt as quickly as he can to his room, which is up on the first floor somewhere. To his room, and throw his bed up against the wall, and underneath his bed is stashed a present. And he's going to just check that it's still there.
Yeah, so it is undisturbed, but you, even though it's totally fine, anger kind of starts to fill you a little bit as you can smell that someone was in the room and walking around the house, but they, for some reason, did not touch anything.
He's going to pick up the present box and take off the lid, and then like shove it under his arm and angrily stomp out again.
Wonderful. All right, as everyone's kind of rushing around trying to figure things out, the more people you wake up, it's the same story. Nobody knows what happened. Weirdly enough, you feel like someone is absolutely just fucking with you. And as you start coming to this conclusion, you might worry about what you're not seeing or what can happen. Sometimes not knowing is worse than actually having answers. And Chell, as you were looking around, you see that there's a letter on the kitchen table, tucked under a nice warm plate of cookies.
Well, I snatched that up right away.
Wonderful. So as you...
With a cookie as well, of course.
Of course. They are Marcus's cookies. The cookies seem fine. As
They have the appropriate cookie labels.
yes, of course. They're everyone's favorite oatmeal raisin cookies. Everyone in the house absolutely loves them. Just so great. Do you read the letter as you pick it up?
I'll start, but he's a slow reader, so he'll gather the group as he reads through.
No worries. It is a very short letter, written in very nice penmanship. and I apologize because I tried to create it, but my Photoshop was being weird. You see the start of the letter Dear VPS, and VPS is in quotes, like air quotes. While it has been fun stringing you along these last few months, I grow tired of these games. I hear that America is nice this time of year until we meet again. And the last moment you feel a flash in your mind, and it is everyone's favorite group of people that you've been chasing this whole time as you read the letter. And that is the end of tonight's session. Is there anything that the players would like to wrap up before we do official sign-offs?
Yeah,
Oh.
would Aurora ever tell us the wish thing?
She absolutely would have. She probably would have done that as she was going from the mystery house to the mansion, but everyone was moving so quickly that she would have probably at some point caught up to everybody.
Well, knowing this, Honest will go and tuck herself into her room, like just pulling Aurora along. Just, come here. I'm just gonna just sit down on the edge of the bed. I wish for a vision of where Mr. Sherlock is and how to find him safe.
That backfired on me.
Stole it.
I am very sorry to say, you see Sherlock's body crumpled at the bottom of a canyon.
All right. Honest is gonna stand up and start throwing stuff in a bag and shoulder it on and head off in whatever direction she thinks that canyon might be.
All right. We can go in overlay order. Anything to wrap up your character if you want to say what your wish would be, and if it's simple, I'll do my best to resolve it on air. If not, we'll go from there. Aurora would be next.
Aurora would have likely helped get as much order to the house as possible post everything. She definitely would have told everyone at some point about the amber pendant and offered them all their wishes. She would have definitely made William have awkward conversations with her that he probably would have ignored and or stormed away from any number of times. And she probably would have just settled somewhere in London, living her life, doing the things.
All right, Duke.
Duke would, kind of as they go around the house, he would have sat on the bottom step once everything had kind of settled, seemingly deep in thought. Once Aurora's revealed the wishes to him, and he kind of watches as Honest has her wish and starts throwing stuff into her bag, he would quietly stand and retrieve his suitcase from wherever it had placed with the small, tooth molar on the side of it. And as Honest hit the threshold, he'd say, "A moment, Honest, if you don't mind. I don't know where you're in such a hurry to, but perhaps your services could be used elsewhere immediately. You see, there's somewhere that I would like to go. I could use some company."
I'll go with you, but first I gotta see about setting someone up in their final resting place. Not about to leave anyone at the bottom of a canyon.
Dukes will kind of grip his suitcase handle and nod. And then meet me in New York. And Duke will turn to Aurora. I wish to be in New York.
It works. You are transported to New York.
He would say that as loud, like with everyone around, so everyone would know that's what Duke did.
Wonderful. All right, William.
William probably pack up his stuff, leave the mansion, almost kind of that night, and in his mind, job done. He joined as a professional monster hunter to protect London. As far as we know, said monster has left London. That's a closed case for now. There are other jobs to do, other mysteries to solve. Plenty to do to prepare in case a fiend like that ever shows themselves again. But only a fool would go chasing a quarry too big. So rather than that, going to stick to what we know, what we do. And he's got his own mysteries that need solving and answering as well. So there's plenty to keep him busy on home soil before he goes gallivanting across to the home of the free, land of the brave just yet.
Wonderful. All right, Blake.
Blake starts gathering their belongings. Hearing Duke yell about New York, knows they could have business in the US if... Probably not straight to New York. Got a side trek to take on. But would gladly accompany Honest on a ship ride stateside. But before we go, they are going to wish that all magic users have a place to be themselves, wherever they exist. Or at least for equal rights. That would be dope. Equal rights for magic users in this world.
You dreamer.
You dream. How dare you?
I wish for that.
And if that can't be a thing, the power to enforce it to become a thing.
Wonderful. Yeah, as you kind of state that, you feel that it's gonna take some time, and it's gonna take some storytelling, but there's a house full of people that know, at least for now, a bunch of heroes drove out of London a very big bad, and weeks turn into months, and you see the underground start to mix more with the general public, and the stigma on using magic out in the open slowly dies out. All right, Chell.
So as Anna's gone out the door, Chell is going to head out, followed by a group of kids who are asking him a bunch of questions about the latest adventure. He's going to tell them, all right, now, easy. So I gotta go with Ms. Ennis now, go see some things, right? Very big adventure, very important stuff. And he's going to kind of look around the room. Wiggins, you're in charge. Yeah, you're your new head boy. Congratulations. Look after him, right? And he'll look over at Aurora and Marcus and anyone else who's look after him, right? Just for a bit. I'll be back. Right.
Of course.
Good man, Marky. And he'll go over to Aurora. And she was giving out witches. Yeah. No?
Yeah,
Just free? No, I'm not paying you
it's
none.
yeah. What's your wish, bud?
Basically, they get to grow up wherever they want to be, right?
Sure. It's your wish.
That's not my wish, really. I mean, I guess I'm kind of spreading it a bit. By the way, that's it. Don't tell nobody. You understand? Gotta, you know. Oh, that's an
Secret
easy lock. Just a key. Come on, we just did a whole house full of those.
What? I don't know.
Double padlock it or something, you know? You're
I have to
magic.
think-
You'll figure it out. All right.
I'm
But
not.
and wait up. He'll hurry off, barely keeping anything but a knapsack on his person. Sorry, figured you might need a cultural savant on your trip to the States. Or wherever the hell Mr. Holmes ended up.
Chell, I'm right here and I'm an American.
Ugh, no wonder I don't like you. Imagine being American. Like, not even as a joke.
Sorry.
No, he gets it.
For clarity's sake, are you letting Aurora hold on to your wish? Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's the plan.
All right, great.
Be a whole
That
bunch of astronauts.
that is everyone, correct? All right, wonderful. As everyone kind of settles after the night or leaves right away, they may have not exactly won the battle, but in their hearts, some of them know that it's not quite over yet. And a lot of members in this society don't take kindly to being pushed around. You might consider Dracula and his friends a bunch of bullies that saw people seemingly weaker than them for the moment and decided to push them around and play with them a little. But the world is just a place where anyone can be found. So that is the end of Sherlock Investigations as we know it. Would everyone like to do their official outros now, starting with Luca?
Hi, I'm Luke Locke, and I played Honest McFarlane, the human Scottish barbarian with the absolute best Scottish accent anyone has ever heard.
Do you have any plugs you wanna plug?
Oh, yeah. I got a whole bunch of stuff going on. Hit up the schedule, TPK's schedule, to see me playing here a whole bunch, and then on Tuesdays, over on Nat 20, in the Fragments Demiplanes campaign, as well as an upcoming one-shot called Hopewell Harbor, which is from the new Crucible magazine, which you may have heard about. It went live today on Kickstarter, so tell your friends. But other than that, I'm just here just about every other weekend and during the week. That's me. Hi.
Wonderful. Chrissy.
Hello, I'm Chrissy. I played Aurora. Let's see. Module week is a busy one for me. Manus calls it Fourth. Oath. Sworn. Tyranny of Dragons Queen's Gambit. What else? We have Emerald Expeditions every other month for me, but once a month for Tony, so you'll see him around a little bit more. So, like Luca said, just check out the schedule. You'll see what I'm in and where I'm at. Also, on the 15th of March, which is a little ways away, but no matter, you should go check out Ghost Light RPGs. It is going to be a Jasper's game day charity stream. because I am a Jasper's Game Day ambassador. So feel free to pop over there, give them a follow, and come check out our charity streams. That's all. Okay, bye.
Wonderful. Sarah.
Hello, I'm Osiris Franco. I play Duke Schultz, the Dwarf Warlock. If you like my face and the words I say sometimes, you can find me Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, all the places at Osiris Franco. I do a variety of TTRPG content here on TBK Roleplay, but the next time you can see me doing the thing is tomorrow night over at Nat 20 in Against the Tides, where I play Kelby Sparkspinner, the gnome druid bard, who is just the tippiest of tops. After that, there's Sunday for Plains Garden Company, also still on Nat 20. It's Kooky Dukes and craziness and all the things. Next Wednesday, you can catch me. Next Tuesday, sorry. Power Beyond, also on Nat 20, which is an incredible campaign. You can find me Neon Lights Roleplay next Wednesday in After the End, where I play a lamp. It's pretty sick. And then on the 26th, catch me back here in the morning for Dark Echoes, a Curse of Strahd campaign run by the incredible Luca Locke, where I'm joined by a couple other faces here. And then immediately after, we have Murder and Coffee with my phenomenal co-host Luca Locke, where we are sitting down with Eric to talk about home game handouts, how to make cool stuff for your cool games. So if you're a GM and you want some tips and tricks, come check that out, because it'll be real good. And then the big thing that I'm nervous about, but also very excited, February 28th, I will be competing in the Iron GM. Let's see if we can go 2 for 2, friends. Let's see if we've got it. Let's see if we've got it in us. Iron GM. Thank you, Purple, who is one of the incredible hosts. And that does it for me. Al?
Hello, folks. It's Alabitha again. I played Handsome William, the Bugbear Ranger, and General Grumpy Mess. All good fun. And I will be back next Tuesday with Oatswarm to ruin their game as well. So that'll be fun. And we'll create more havoc and mischief, but in a much more whimsical and light-hearted way, I'm sure, by moaning at people, which tends to be a central theme of what I do. It's good fun. I like it. It's good. It works for me. And with that, I will see you all soon.
All
Bye.
right. Corn Dog.
It's me, Corndog McGraw. I was playing Blade, the changeling bard, who is doing their very best. You can catch me here on Saturday, where I'm gonna be a himbo bimbo for Top Shelf. That's the name of that show. Come hang out. I'm gonna himbo it up. I'm gonna flex a whole bunch and wear a really tiny shirt, so it's gonna be great. Otherwise, you can catch me at Queen's Gambit the following Thursday. Not this Thursday, but the one after. Have a lovely night. Turk, up to you.
Thank you very much. I do enjoy being in the special guest spot, even though I don't deserve it at all, but for player reasons, I will remain here. Hey everybody, I am Turk, or Turk Extended on Twitch and Twitter. I have had the privilege and honor of playing Chelsea Chelcray, my second ever TPK character, I believe. And to conclude, this has just been super awesome. Also, had the distinct fun and honestly honor of getting to occasionally voice Sherlock, though it's very convenient that character's dead, because that was a much scarier role to handle. So if you want to see more of what I do, of course you can find me himboing it up with Corn Dog on the Top Shelf this Saturday. It's gonna be just a whole bunch, and I can promise no further. Beyond that, Emerald Expeditions on the 21st. Orsoid has clearly made an impact, and I will try to follow that up as best I can. Followed, of course, by Oathsworn, the Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign, which I DM. It's a ton of fun. Nobody ruins it or messes anything up in it. You're all going according to plan, I swear. And it's been so amazing. The players just absolutely knock it out of the park every single session. definitely, if you have not checked that out yet, it is worth looking into. They are going into their second labor. As they head into the woods, and it should be interesting, this next one. Beyond that, on the 24th, I'll be over on Nat 20 with the Department, a Delta Green campaign of sorts, of varying scenarios, where we will be running Kaligati, which should be a whole lot of fun. We will feature, of course, the wonderfully talented Osiris Frankel on your screen. I don't know if you mentioned that, but it's going to be very spooky, scary, and horror-centric. So if you're into that sort of thing at the end of this month, that's typically associated with good vibes and personal connections, you can watch as those are torn apart by the horrors of war and extraterrestrial terrible things. Beyond that, of course, Dark Echoes on the 26th, Hopewell Harbor on the 27th, and Iron DM, where I am one of the unextraordinary hosts of Iron DM. And there will be so much more in the future. Just to give a quick look into March, on the 2nd will be Hubris of Man, which is run by the ever wonderful Meg Mysteria. And that's just, it's just amazing what she does. So, I'm gonna throw it back to Cole, though.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you to my wonderful players. If this is the first episode of Sherlock Investigations you have ever watched, there are more on YouTube. Almost every single one is inspired by a horror movie that exists in real life. This one should be obvious, but also I removed any blatant trigger warnings at the request of players. As you should always do, work with your players and use safety tools. If anyone can tell me what horror movie this one was based off of, I will give you an oatmeal raisin cookie. There was something else I was going to say after that. There's a reason I asked Turk to play Sherlock, because it is a very hard role to fit in, and he did a great job, and the rest of you did great bringing wonderful characters. There are elements that are true to Sherlock's story within the series as well, but there's also a lot of rules broken and boundaries pushed to annoy my players, which is another thing I suggest you try more often. For myself, I will be back on the 26th for Dark Echoes, and you will see me a lot more in March. Just as a note, Hubris of Man is not tomorrow night. It is moved to the 23rd. The cast was so kind to help out with someone traveling, so we will have that updated. And I think if there's nothing else, we're going to close it out for the night.
Hey, Cole.
Yeah.
Remember when this was a one-shot?
Yes, I do. I do remember when it was a one-shot. That one shot is, we've had great growth. That's what I'll say. We've all grown a lot and all increased our talents a lot since the first one shot. So, it is not 13 Ghosts, by the way. Mr. Rogers. We are going to end here and throw a raid over to Weave the Tale, as they are checking out something from Crucible that we mentioned earlier. So thank you all, and I hope you have a great night, and remember to question everything.